So I was talking about the increase of genomics in healthcare and how that is exponentially rising. And that means that we need global standards in how to share this data. And that's why I'm also the chair for the Global Alliance for Genomes and Health. And this is a global organization, mainly volunteer staffed, as it were. And it performs the same function as the W3C consortium for the World Wide Web. So just as we have standards so that our web browsers work, our mobile phones work together, the websites we get can be seen from different devices, we need the same sort of standards or the same type of standards for genomic data sharing between countries. So there's some very straightforward aspects of how different computer programs can consume data and output data, and we run most of the standards for that input and output of genomic data. But we want to go beyond this sort of input and output to programs. We also want to be able to have virtual machines that can be sent from one location to perform analysis inside of a controlled data haven, perhaps in a different country, and then return results to the researcher. And so this type of virtualization and cloud-based access is part of the future standards that GA4GH is building. There are two foundational aspects for GA4GH. One is an appropriate framework in which you can share data. Now this has to work with national systems and national legislation, so this is more like a policy framework for discussions that we can have inside of different countries with different ethics communities. And Barthe from Montreal has a beautiful way of considering this, starting from a UN human rights declarations. And the second aspect is data security. This is the technical security about how things can be shared. In fact, there's an awful lot of practical work on the internet about how we do internet banking, about how we do other pieces of secure transactions. And in most cases, it's about us adopting the appropriate standard for genomics for a particular area. But there's a lot of detail to that work and a lot of complexity, and we have a really enthusiastic group of people investigating that security. So the ideal which we're moving towards is where healthcare genomics data can be accessed by researchers from around the world. Different countries recognize the credentials of researchers from different places. So if I want to access French data, the fact that I've been authorized through an appropriate UK system may be enough to see a variety of data sets, and that not by downloading data, because it will neither scale nor probably be appropriate ethically and legally, but rather by me uploading my analysis to different safe havens around the world, I can do virtualized analysis of over billions of peoples worldwide. Now the opportunity here for patients is huge, and for society, because we can really make progress in sorting out some of these complicated and horrible diseases, such as cancer. But also there's a huge opportunity for researchers as well. Researchers have long used other organisms as the kind of bedrock of the way they study how life works. Organisms like mice or worms and fruit flies. And these days humans, via this process of healthcare, we can study humans at scale in an appropriate way. And that's very, very exciting for researchers as well. A big theme in all of this is really enabling the patient to participate better in their own healthcare, but also in how that healthcare is used by researchers worldwide. And by gaining that, by allowing patients to participate far better, not only is it better for their own healthcare, but it also gives a lot more trust to the system. They can trust that researchers are making appropriate use of the data for healthcare benefits, rather than a situation where people get confused or worried about this data sharing process.